we will see what are the different laws of thermodynamics. So before starting of the laws, so these are the general formula that we have seen in the previous class, that how to use this thing, what is the enthalpy, okay, enthalpy and the equation of state of an ideal gas, okay. So that is PV equals to mRT, and this is enthalpy formula represent as H equals to U plus PV. Now what is this? This is H is enthalpy, U is internal energy, and PV is a P for pressure, V for the volume, which can be also be written as from this ideal gas PV equals to RT. So it has been written like that. Next is for the how we can write at some change in pressure or change in enthalpy. So if there is a change in enthalpy, how we can write? So this formula from here, main formula, we can write like this. And both you should remember, both the enthalpy and the entropy, okay, are dependent to temperature. But the thing is, when we consider the enthalpy which is of constant pressure, okay, which is at constant pressure, but when we consider the entropy which is internal energy, which is we consider as a constant volume process, okay. So internal energy, when you consider internal energy, right, U, so this is of also a time temperature dependent, but at constant volume condition, whereas the enthalpy is at constant pressure, So you should know the difference between these two, okay. Then starting with the first law of thermodynamics, what it says, the first law of thermodynamics, it says that it's often called as a conservation of energy law, as you can see. Now energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but first law, it states that during any cycle, a system, okay, system, when we say it is of controlled mass, undergoes a cyclic integral of heat is proportional to the cyclic integration of work. That means this expression mathematically we can express like this, okay. The summation, whatever the summation of the heat added, is a heat, okay, heat added to a cycle is equal to the summation of the work done by that particular cycle or the cyclic process. Also can be written as the closed integral of change in heat equals to, this is equals to, okay, equals to the, no, it is negative only because I have taken that negative, okay, closed integral of dw, so which is equal to 0, okay. These are the very very important concept. Now what they will do is, in the PV diagram they will give you some PV diagram, okay, and PV diagram they will give you some complex cycle, okay, some state 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on can give, and they can give on some parameters, so and so, right. Now from there, two possibility of question, either they can ask what will be the total heat, okay, or the work done, or what is the relation between the work done or to the heat heat entered or heat effects they can ask, then it has to be 0. It has to be 0. Either it is a work done or summation of work done or the summation of the heat added. It has to be 0. Okay. Now second point of way, they can give you some of the unknown parameters. They can ask you some of the unknown parameters. So they have, if they have, we are having 6 points, some of the points they might not ask it. So you need to find out the unknown parameter using this formula. Fine. Now always remember this thing, the heat and work. Okay, this is the function of path. This is the function of path. But whereas the internal energy is the function of point, is a function of point. So whenever we mention anything, we write like this formula can be also written as 1 Q2 minus 1 W2 equals to U1 minus U2 or U2 minus U1. That means basically it defines the change in internal energy. Change in internal energy. Okay, clear? So this internal energy, when we define is U2 minus U1, that defines a point. That means only depends on the final state and the initial state. Okay. So, and path means which way it is following. It depends on that. I hope now it's clear. So based on that, there will be lot many problems that you can expect. Now this is one of the problem. First problem. Let's first read the question. 1.5 kg of liquid having a constant specific heat 2.5 kilojoule per kg Kelvin is stirred in a well insulated chamber, causing the temperature to rise by 15 degrees Celsius. Find the E means here internal energy. Okay, internal energy, and what will be the work done for the process. So first you need to know what are the given parameters that they have given in this question, and what are the unknown parameters that you need to find out. First, you can easily identify, that means there is a liquid having a constant, these things are given. That means there is one chamber is there. Okay, and when you are stirring it, and temperature which cause it to rise by 15 degrees Celsius, right? So mass is given again here. There is a pointer. Here is a mass is given. Temperature is given because temperature rised by they have given. Then specific heat is given. Now from here, what you need to find, what is the change in internal energy and the work done. Now do you have any idea how you are going to proceed for this calculation? First you need to think how you can solve this problem. How you are going to solve?
This change in energy is CV into dt, no ma'am, formula.
Huh?
CV into internal energy, ma'am, formula, this delta E.
C by?
No ma'am, CV into delta E.
CV into del T.
हाँ मैम.
Okay.
And
But
this
here
in
there is
over,
a constant specific heat only they have said. They have not said that what is the like with a constant pressure or volume, anything. They have not said it,
oh,
right?
yes ma'am.
Now we have some function of u, we have some value of v, right? Now what is the first law of thermodynamics? That is
Change in energy equal to heat
to,
minus.
we can say, we can write like that, work done.
Yes ma'am.
Now how we can find, now they read this thing, they have said well insulated chamber. Now what is mean by well insulated chamber? There won't be any heat transfer. Heat transfer will be 0.
0. Q is 0.
Heat transfer will be 0. Then can I say Q will be 0?
Yes ma'am.
Now how can I find the work done? So previously you remember work done equals to mass into specific heat into change in temperature. So what is mass? 1.5, specific heat 2.5, okay, and change in is 15. It is only rise, difference they are asking. So it's not necessary that you have to convert in Kelvin, right? So once you find out, you will get in kilojoule. You will get the unit in kilojoule.
Ma'am, one doubt ma'am.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, this specific heat is in Kelvin, no ma'am?
Yes, specific heat, that's what I said. Here it is in Kelvin. Next you see is stirred by a well insulated chamber causing the temperature to rise by. Rise by means that is change in temperature they have given. So that means difference they have given. Okay, difference is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, now for an example, whatever it might be, either it's in Kelvin or Celsius, it's just a difference. It doesn't play a significant role here. But if they could have given some value in like maybe 100 and one is 75 degree, then there was a requirement, right?
Okay.
You are getting my point. So 85. So if it is 100 and 85, then also we don't need. Then if you see, it is just a 15 degree difference. Am I right? It is just a 15 degree Celsius. So this is just a difference. So it will not play a significant role.
Okay. Yes.
So substitute, you will get the work done. Now as this is as the heat transfer is 0, so work done is going to be negative of U. So whatever the value you will get here, just a negative of this value. Now tell me what is the value you are getting?
56.25.
56.25 kilojoule, and this is minus of 56.25. Very good.
Yes.
Very simple problem, but you have to understand the thing. See, well insulated. So this is what they do in GATE, okay, or any kind of competitive exam. Now this is another problem. A gas contained in a cylinder is compressed. Okay, compressed. The work required for compression being, they have given how much work required for compression. That means how much work is required. Read the word required. Okay. During the process, heat interaction of this much 2000 kilojoule caused the surrounding to heat it. Okay. you should understand whether the heat is adding or leaving. The change in internal energy of the gas during the process is. So you should understand whether the heat is rejecting from the system or the entering into the system. Now there is any random system, right? So let's consider a gas in a cylinder. Okay, so this is a surrounding and this is a system. System means that is a gas contained in the cylinder. The cylinder boundary is the cylinder thickness is the boundary, right? Now first what they have said, the work required. So you should understand what is mean by work required. That means heat rejecting from the system. Sorry, work is done on the system, right? Can I say work is done on the system? How much work we are doing this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because work is done on the system as the gas is being compressed, right? It is getting compressed, right? So this
Yes,
is
ma'am.
if I say the surrounding is 1, the system is 2, so 1 to 2 process is your 5000 kilojoule. Then during the process heat interaction this much causes the surrounding causes the surrounding to heated. That means what happening? It is releasing, the heat is rejecting out from the system. What is happening? It is giving the heat, liberating the heat outside to the surrounding. That means it is doing from 2 to 1. That means for the system rejecting, which is around 2000. And for that what they ask, a change in internal energy during this process. So what is answer? C. So what is the formula first? Let's see. So we have Q12 minus W12 equals to change in internal energy. Fine. Now what is this Q12? Can I say Q12 is minus of 2000 minus of we have, because it's entering inside, so it will be minus again, minus of 5000, so will become I think plus 3000 kilojoule, right? So the right answer is C. See, one thing you must understand, here we are all looking for the competitive exam. Okay, now when we go for the competitive exam, you need to understand the question carefully, read the question carefully, and their main motto to make you confused, and they frame the question in such a way that if you do a small mistake, then your answer will go wrong. Just look at the option A even. Now if you forget to keep here minus, right, here it will become minus 2000 minus 5000 minus 7000, right? So they design the options likewise, so you have to be very, very careful with these things. Okay, again I kept the same question. Okay, next. So this is something different where you have to, this is a lengthy question might be. So first read the question. A mass of 8 kg gas expand within a flexible container. The container is flexible, so that the PV relationship is of the form PV power 1.2 constant. That means the N value is 1.2. The initial pressure is 1000 kilopascal, initial volume is 1 meter cube. Final pressure is given. If the specific internal energy decreased by 40 kilojoule per kg, find the heat transfer in magnitude and direction. Okay. So first read the question by yourself, then identify what are the given data in this question. First, you can easily identify the mass. Mass is given. Then if you see this, they have given which process it is. PV power n. PV power n constant, where n is 1.2. So wherever there is a n value, you have to use 1.2 value. P1 is given.
Yes.
Then V1 is given. Finally, P2 is given. Now specific internal energy decreased by. So when we use a decrease means we have to consider negative, right? Now you should understand they have used a word called specific internal energy. Look into the form, not the internal energy, specific internal energy. Okay, there is a difference between internal energy and the specific internal energy. So specific internal energy is a intensive property independent of mass, whereas internal energy, it's an extensive property which is a dependent of mass. So here you have to again be careful. That means if you want to find out the internal energy, change in internal energy, that means you have to multiply this factor with mass. Actually, specific internal energy has been denoted by small e. Okay, denoted by small e. So mass into e, you will get the actual value. Mass is 8 into 40. Now as it is decreased, so you have to give the negative of that. Minus of 8 into 40. So which is around minus 320 kilojoule. Now the matter is you have to find what is the heat transfer. So this question is quite simple. So heat transfer means what? Q equals to change in internal energy. Okay, either E or U, whatever you write, conventions are same. Okay, so internal energy plus the work done. Now here the process they have said PV power 1.2. So this is also known. How you can find the work done? For the work done for PV power 1.2 equals to constant, you are going to use the formula. And what is the formula? It is P1 V1 minus P2 V2 minus n minus 1. You remember this formula? We have solved in the morning class. But here the V2 value is not given. If you see there, VT value is not given. So how can you find the V2? How can you find out the V2 value?
That P2 V2 P1 V1 ma'am, that formula.
Very good. P1 V1 power n, as we have done in the derivation. P1 V1 power n equals to P2 V2 power n. Right? Now if I need P1 P2, then V2 by V1 power n. Now all the values is known to us. P1 is known, P2 is known, V1 is also known, right? V1 is known here, n is also known. So from this you can find out what is V2 in meter cube. Substitute here you will know what is the work done. Then finally substitute back to this required thing. You will get to know what is your heat transfer. Can you follow?
Yes.
Now you find out step by step. First you find out what is the total, what is the V2 value. Substitute that. First you tell me what is a V2 value.
82.7 meter cube.
82.7 meter cube. Very good. So once you know 82.7 meter cube, then here you can substitute that directly. 3 into 1 minus P2 is 5 into 82.7 by 1.2 minus 1. What is the work done? Work done. What is the work done? Tell me the value.
It's 29 something. 2932.5.
0.5 kilojoule. Right? After finding the work done, what you're going to do, simply substitute here, because your requirement to find out what is the amount of heat transfer. So Q equals to minus 320 plus 2932.5. Whatever the value, because ensure the unit. Everywhere you are considering kilojoule. So, and see, in exam point of view, just check the answer. Are you getting the same answer or not? 2615. Just check.
2612.5.
Yes. So exam time, either you will see some answers nearby. Okay, because there may be some changes because of the fractional difference. Okay, something like that. So 2612.5 kilojoule. Fine. So another thing in exam, for this kind of paper, what is meant by magnitude and direction? Magnitude is this value 2612.5. Direction means whether it will reject out or the addition. So they can also ask in this way: there will be the heat addition or heat entered, or it will be the liberated. So the nature here is heat added. Heat will be added because we have the positive sign, right? Or heat is entering into the system. So there are lot many ways that they can possibly ask you this question.
Yes.
So this kind of questions are also asked. Which one of the following is correct? The cyclic integral of the del Q minus del W for a process is. Can you tell me which answer?
0.
Absolutely
C.
is 0. As we have discussed previously, it will be 0. Okay. Then the next question we will do it later on at the end, because we have not covered that particular topic yet. Okay. Now we will enter to a very important topic, is a steady flow energy equation. Definitely there will be one question from here. Steady flow energy equation. That means they have some big derivation, but we are not looking for the derivation. The main motto of this particular thing is they have some system. Now within the system, how the heat is entered, how the work is done, and based on that we have certain parameters. The system, whether it is inclined, whether it is lying in the same horizon. So what is the velocity of the flow or the convection, heat transfer rate, what is the work done rate. So these are the core elements that it play a huge role in steady flow energy equation. Now remember one thing, whenever it are points of competitive exam, even you need to implement the fluid mechanics concept in maybe you're solving a problem for thermodynamics, but you need to implement the idea for fluid mechanics too, right? Now as you see the formula, mass flow rate, m dot, you can see here m dot. So what is m dot?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know, it is the
Mass flow.
mass flow rate. So what it says, they have given this system. Okay, the problem, the statement, we are taking a general statement. Now this is a dotted line, you can see. So this is a system. From there, two inlets are there. One in here one flow is entering, another side it is leaving. I will change the color so you can identify that. It is entering, another side it is leaving. Now let's consider where the flow at point it is entering, we have some datum height, or some datum height means some distance are there, right? Some distance are there from the ground level. Similarly, the flow which is coming out or liberating out, we have some datum height when it is leaving. So entering consider as zone 1, leaving zone 2. Now based on this system, so when we are entering any mass, so obviously there will be mass flow rate at m dot 1 and mass flow rate at m dot 2. Similarly, whatever the pressure, the volume, the internal energy, right, the velocity. So you can understand the difference between volume and velocity. I have make a curve in the volume, and velocity I have written it very straight. Okay, so this is the velocity here. So this, first of all, you should know the formula. It's a combination of the internal energy and the combination of pressure and volume. Then we have some velocity, then we have datum, plus dq by dt, that means change in heat transfer, okay, or rate of change of heat transfer, which is equals to mass flow rate into the same parameters, internal energy at the exit, the pressure and volume at the exit, then velocity at the exit, datum head with the gravity head, that is, this is moreover like a potential head at exit, and rate of change of work done. Next, by looking into that, combinedly the U1 plus PV can combinedly write as the enthalpy, which is nothing but the H. So you must know the expansion of H, that is enthalpy. So basically enthalpy, then we have velocity, then the potential head, and so on. Now you should know this formula because they will give you certain datas. From this data you have to substitute and find out some of the unknown parameters. Now this type of question they will ask based on application based. Now before that, you should know what is the unit for individual component. Now, if in the given data they have given the H, that is the enthalpy unit, or the work done unit, or the heat transfer unit in terms of kilojoule per kg, and velocity unit, okay, velocity unit, and the gravity they have given in velocity meter per second and gravity meter per second square. Then you have to use this formula, just h1 plus v1 square by 2000 plus gz1 by 1000 and so on. Please remember that they always try to confuse you. If it is in kilojoule, this will be the formula. Please simultaneously write down the formula. If it is given the enthalpy, work done, and the heat transfer, the unit given as joule per kg. If it is given joule per kg, then this will be the formula. Okay?
Okay.
Right? If it is kilojoule, this is a main difference point. So if you forget to divide this 1000 over here, then the answer will completely different. Please try to understand that. So small thing, you have to remember it. Fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Now moving to the next, the application one. Now first we will see the nozzle and the diffuser. Now what happens in the nozzle and what happens in the diffuser? The same concept you will be studying in gas dynamics too. Now in case of nozzle and diffuser, you know the area, there will be variation in the area, right? So either it can be convergent or divergent, right? Either of the way it can be. Now what happens in this nozzle and diffuser? There won't be any heat added into it. That is dq by dm or dt, the rate of change of heat transfer is 0. The rate of change of work done is going to be 0, because the diffuser nor the nozzle does the work, or not the heat is added, not the heat is liberated in the nozzle or the diffuser. Fine. Then almost, if you see the gas turbine engine, right, both the potential head, as I've said, potential head means, or the potential energy, that is Z, is remains in the same horizon. If this is a ground, right, so nozzle will be like this, the distance between this and this going to be the same. The center line of the diffuser or the nozzle going to same as the horizon. So change in potential energy, that is Z1 equals to Z2 equal to Z, it's same. That means change in potential energy is going to be 0. So these are the assumptions. So as you know, in upcoming exam there is a possibility to get a question as multiple selection type question. So for an example, they will give you some selective options. You need to choose the right one. So you should know the assumptions for each and every application. So where the heat is added, where the heat is liberated, which component will do the work, right? So here the nozzle and diffuser, there is no heat added or liberated, or no work is done, okay, and the potential energy is 0. So if this is a final equation, if this is the general equation, right, if my heat is not there, so simply I can eliminate this 0. If work is not done, I can eliminate this as 0. Potential head, both are going to be same, so it will get cancelled off from both the ends. Now what are the remaining terms? Remaining term is, you see, H1, then H1 is here, see here H1 plus V1 square by 2 then equals to H2 plus V2 square by 2. Now this will vary if they have given the units in kilojoule per kg or joule per kg. Based on that it will change it. Fine. Now remember that this is a final form. Now if the V1 is very less than V2, that means the exit velocity, okay, or let's consider exit V2 parameter is greater than V1. So in that case you can use this formula. That means we are going to ignore the V1. So if you ignore the V1, what you will get? H1 minus H2 equals to V2 square by 2. So you can write 2H1 minus H2 equals to V2 square. So V2 becomes root over of 2H1 minus H2. And this is what the equation is. Now this can be of vice versa effect. Now if any one of the value is very less than, so that particular value will be ignored. It depends on the question how they ask. Clear? This
Yes,
point is fine. Now similarly we will see the next is a throttling device. Now what is mean by throttling device? Here also you should know there is no heat added or liberated, no work done by the system. Even the kinetic energy is very low. Kinetic energy means what? The V square by 2 element. We have that. You remember what was the formula? Basic formula H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1G, right, plus Q dot. We can write Q dot also, okay. Both are same, the rate of change of the heat, okay. Then H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus Z2G plus the W dot. This is a general formula. Now what is mean by kinetic energy? Means this is the kinetic energy actually. So if this is ignored, kinetic energy is ignored, Q ignored, W ignored, then they have said the potential energy, that is Z1 is equals to Z2, also ignored. Then what is the remaining thing? So H1 minus H2. And what is H? Enthalpy. So enthalpy of the fluid before throttle and after throttle are same. Okay. So enthalpy of a fluid entering before throttle and after throttle is going to be the same. So this is the core concept over this throttling device. Next we have the turbine and compressor. Now turbine, we know the power out, it is a power output basically, right? And what is a compressor? Require the power input. We feed the power inside the compressor. So if we consider the work done, so work done going to be positive for the turbine, and for the compressor it's going to be negative. Already we have discussed this point when we have seen an example for how the heat transfer and work done in the system. Now similarly for turbine and compressor, what happens? For this turbine and compressor, the heat added to a system is 0, but there will be some amount of work done or done by the system or on the system, depending on whether the power output or the input. Okay. Then kinetic energy may be slow, may be high. Again it depends on the parameter. But the potential energy, that is potential energy means that is Z, Z1 equals to Z2 equals to Z, is constant. So here if in this equation what you can see here, we have considered at low kinetic energy, that means we consider the V1 ignored to be 0. Okay, V1 and V2 we have taken as 0. If considered, then we will consider this, but these are the parameters are going to be 0. Fine. So let's check this. So this is a basic formula. Let me write the basic formula once again. So along with me you also write, so you will get practiced. So H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1G plus Q dot, okay, equals to H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus Z2G plus W dot. Now this will get cancel potential. There is no heat added to the system. Now these are the existing system. Now as I have taken, if it is low, then this parameter will also get cancel off. Now what is existing? H1 equals to H2 plus W dot. W dot means dW by dm. So what is the heat added, or sorry, not heat added, work done? Work done can be written as H1 minus H2, which is actually positive. Now the reverse effect happens in the compressor, because when we are using that in a compressor or a pump, here we are taking a negative sign, because the work is on the system, work is done on the system or require power input, right? So if you want to use that, to ignore it, we can write minus of H1 minus H2. Okay, so please understand this. So whenever you should read the question, understand, read it and see what is the component that they have used, whether it's a turbine or compressor. Accordingly you should know whether the heat will be added or heat will be neglected, or the work done should be added, or it will be the required work done. Next is heat exchanger. Now for the heat exchanger, it's very you have seen the heat, what is mean by heat exchanger. So if there is one pipe, so outline there is another cowling will be there. So if the mass flow rate is hot here, the outer cowling will be giving mass flow rate of the cool. So this hot pipe will get cooled easily. So it depends on the amount of multiple channels, that inlets that has been provided. Now here in this formula they have given one hot chamber, one cold chamber. Similarly the exit also one hot chamber, one cold chamber. If there is another third component, so we will add one more, like m dot 3h3 here also. Where is my stylus? Okay, m dot 5 number h5. So if there is 3, accordingly the number of entrance will be equal to number of exit, depending on how the heat exchanger has been explained or demonstrated in the problem. Then very importantly, condenser. Condenser is a component which helps to reject the heat. Okay, helps to reject the heat. Now what is mean by rejecting heat? Minus Q. It is liberating to the outer surrounding, or liberating into the surrounding, but where the work done is 0. So substitute in the general equation, right, and you will get. Now here that it will be of negative of H1 minus H2, as it is rejecting by the system. So you should know the basic function of what is your condenser, heat exchanger, what happens in turbine, compressor, throttle, what is nozzle and diffuser. Okay, these are the important thing that you should understand. Now similar to that, let's solve a very simple problem. First let's solve a very simple problem, then we can go to the complex. Okay, now this is a problem in front of you. Okay, before that you solve this problem. First you solve the simple one, then you can go to the complex. Okay, first you solve this. A blower handles 1 kg per second of air at 20 degrees Celsius and consume a power of 15 kilowatt. The inlet and the outlet velocity of air are 100 meter per second and 150 meter per second respectively. Find the exit air temperature assuming the adiabatic conditions. Take Cp of air is 1.005 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Right? Now what they have given here? What is the purpose of blower? They have given an example of a blower. Okay. So they have given the mass flow rate of the air. They have given the mass flow rate. Now in this blower there is no change in mass flow rate, right? They have not explained anything because the air enters and the exit is also the air. So mass flow rate at the 2 points M1 and M2 is going to be the same. Fine. Now at the entrance temperature they have given the temperature. Okay, inlet temperature is given, that is T1. Let's consider T1. Power consumes see, they have used a word called consume. A power is 15 kilowatt. Right, 15 kilowatt. Now what is meant by consume here? Whether the heat is added or liberated, whether it's a positive or negative. This is the work done. We can clearly understand. Now what it is given? Heat is added or liberated. Whether it's positive or negative. Anyone? As you can see, consumes. So it has to be negative. Okay. So whenever you see consumes, right, that means it's required. Requirement is there. Okay. Or getting used. So the work done is negative. Now the inlet and exit velocity, that is V1 and V2 is given. Now from here you need to find out what is the exit temperature assuming the adiabatic condition. Adiabatic condition means what? When there is no heat added, that is Q dot is 0, no heat is added, and Cp value of air is given. So whenever you can see some of the velocity and some mass flow rate and power, you should understand this will be belongs to the steady flow energy equation problem. Steady flow energy equation problem. Now what is the formula? M dot 1 H1 plus we have V1 square by 2, right? As there is no datum is given, we can ignore that part, plus Q dot equals to M dot 2 Then we have H2 plus V2 square. Just a second. Let me write it properly so you can understand it. M dot H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus Z1G plus Q dot. Okay, this will be ignored, equals to M dot, this is M1, this is M2 of H2 plus V2 square by 2 by Z2G plus W dot. Now Z will also get cancelled off, Q will also get cancelled off because Q is 0. Now how to find H? So recalling H equals to Cp into del T. Cp is a function of constant pressure, the specific heat at constant pressure, and enthalpy is a function of temperature, Cp into T. So now can you find out H1, because we know all the values. Now from there we can also rewrite the equation as here this M1 and M2 is same. We can ignore to note down or ignore to calculate this value, but anyways let's proceed with that. So you can write Cp T1 plus we have 100 by 2. Now see here one more thing. Here what is the unit they have given? The Cp value. Cp value they have given in kilojoule per kg Kelvin. Now when you want to substitute this value over here, so you will get the H1 value in kilojoule, isn't it? Kilojoule per kg. The unit which you will get in kilojoule per kg. So we need to use the other formula. Please note this important point. Then as this is 0, then we'll have H2, that is Cp T2 plus we have 150 whole square by 2000, okay, minus of 15 kilowatt. Already it is dealing with kilojoule, so we can simply write 15. Now solve this problem. Solve this, substitute the value of Cp, substitute the value of T1, substitute again the value of Cp, and you can find out the unknown parameter from here. 1.005 into, now here you need to convert in terms of Kelvin. Okay, 20 degrees Celsius means what? 20 plus 273, 293 Kelvin. So 293 plus, find out the answer and tell me. So your main requirement is to find out the T2 value. Find out the T2 in terms of Kelvin.
Ma'am, 28.7.
You're getting? It's in Kelvin or
In degree Celsius, ma'am, 28.7.
yes. If you're finding in 28.7 degrees Celsius. It's okay. So if you want to find out for Kelvin, what is the value?
301.7.
286.78 in Kelvin.
286.7.
86.7.
Yes. So there will be some variations, okay, because of the fraction and the points. There will be variation. Okay, so not to worry about these things, right? So I hope you got the idea. You got the idea?
Yes.
So we will solve some more problem. Okay, I request you to solve this question. You take a screenshot and solve and share in the WhatsApp group. Okay, share the solution in the WhatsApp group. See what is given in the question: specific enthalpy and the velocity. Again here they have given a specific enthalpy, fine, and specific enthalpy and velocity of a stream at inlet and exit of the steam turbine running under the steady state as given in the figure. So inlet condition they have given in the graph and in the table, and exit condition also given. So H1, H2 is given, V1, V2 is given. Rate of heat losses from the turbine per kg of steam flow rate is 5 kilowatt. So what they have given here, the how much amount of heat lost from the turbine. They have said how much amount of heat is going lost, that means rejected from the turbine. They have given that, neglecting change in potential energy of the steam. The power developed in kilowatt by the steam turbine per kg of the flow is. That means in this condition, how much power will be developed? How much power is going to develop by this engine, that you need to find out. As we have seen in that, there is no there was no heat loss, right, in the ideal condition. But here what they have said, there will be some amount of heat loss. Okay, so remember this point. I am giving you the hint. H1 is given, H2 is given, V1 is given, V2 is given. Heat is lost minus Q dot. This is not M dot. Q dot, that is heat loss, rate of heat loss, right? Rate of heat loss is given. Now in this condition you have to see how much power will develop. Power means nothing but how much work done will produce by this. Okay, how much work done. Very simple, right? So first what you do, remember the equation. Okay, you remember the equation here. As mass flow rate nothing is given, just ignore that. Consider the mass flow rate is 1. Okay, unit mass flow rate. So you take H1 plus V1 square by 2 plus as data is 0, you just ignore this part, plus Q dot equals to H2 plus V2 square by 2 plus Z2G plus this W dot. This one will get cancelled off. You know this datas are known to you. This data is also known. You can find this parameter. Very easy. Fine. Shall I skip to next problem? You're going to solve this problem. Okay. Next, you're going to solve this problem too. Okay. Every year they are giving this kind of problem. Now you see in this given problem, in the schematic diagram they have portrayed the question. They portrayed the given data. So H1, V1, Z1, P1, okay, given. Now H2, V2, Z2, P2 values are given. Now what they have asked to find? They have given the mass flow rate of the steam through the turbine E is so and so. Find out the power output. So here also they have said it is an adiabatic steam. Adiabatic steam means there won't be any heat added to the system. So heat added will be 0 and you need to find out what is the power output. Okay. So take the screenshot of this particular two problems and you are going to solve and send me the details in the group. I will check and I will revert back to you then and there. Okay. Done, all of you?